Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Crystal. Last time, we faced off against the Pewter City Gym Leader Brock, and we obtained our 14th Pokemon League Gym Badge. We also had a showdown with Silver in Mount Moon, and we obtained a very important item. It is a key item known as the Silver Wing. If you do not know how to obtain this, I strongly recommend watching the last video because it is very important for what we are going to be doing today. This time, we are back in the Johto region to go on a crusade for all of the legendary Pokemon that we can obtain. And oh boy, is this going to be a fun episode. And by fun, I mean help me. Anyway, the first legendary Pokemon we're going to be going after requires you to have the Rainbow Wing in your inventory. And you are going to want to go over to the northeastern Whirl Island. Now, in between episodes, I caught a Psyduck. That is because Psyduck is capable of knowing Surf, Waterfall, Whirlpool, and Flash. You technically don't need Waterfall to get into and out of this area, but you do need all of the other moves, so I definitely recommend picking up a Psyduck for this. Anyway, heading into the Whirl Islands, we are going to want to use our Flash right here, and the area will be lit up. Now, there is only one way to the specific chamber that we are going to be checking out today, and that is what I am showing you all right now. So even though we've already explored this area already, I figured I would show this off just because it's important to know how to get to where we are going. Anyway, head right down this waterfall right here, and it's actually not that bad to get to where we're going. Now, before you enter this cave, I highly recommend you save. Once you have done that, feel free to head on inside. Now, I recommend having a Pokemon with you that can inflict some sort of status condition, because this is going to be a fun fight, let me tell you. Right here, we have Lugia. Oh boy, we have Lugia. It is level 60, it is a Psychic and Flying type, and it knows the moves Hydro Pump, Rain Dance, Swift, and it has Recover. It has Recover. So I definitely recommend inflicting this thing with a status like Sleep or Freeze. I'm hoping Ice Punch will not knock it out. I don't think it will because I'm 8 levels lower than this thing, and having a Freeze on this Pokemon would be really nice. Now, its Rain Dance is going to allow it to power up that Hydro Pump, which is a big problem for me because my False Swipe user, Marowak, is a Ground type, which is a massive problem. So my goal here is basically to Ice Punch this thing until it gets frozen, and then start chucking Pokeballs at it. In case you couldn't tell, it's pretty early in the morning. Wait, Gust? Okay, apparently it doesn't have Swift, it has Gust. Serebii lied to me. Oh well. Anyway, can we please get the freeze off on this thing? I believe freezing is like a 10% chance on pretty much every move that inflicts it in this game. Alright, this should get it down super low. Please do not knock it out. Very good. Do not get the freeze. That is unfortunate. Anyway, now that it is very weak, I think we are going to have to try and catch it. Now, I'm not going to be showing all of the attempts to this. Basically, just assume if it recovers, I try and beat it back down into the red a little bit, and hopefully it'll run out of recover soon. Now, these are the Pokeballs I have with me. Everything else has been deposited in the PC or has gone to other uses at this point. A lot of the clips in this episode, just warning you, have been recorded out of order. So anyway, I think we are going to start off with the Ultra Balls. I will see you on the other side. Yes! Lugia was caught. Oh man. It was using Gust over and over, so I knew it was going to be stuck using Struggle at some point, so I'm really glad we got it. Oh man. I'll be honest, Lugia was the bane of my childhood existence. I remember spending hours trying to catch this thing. Lugia, the diving Pokemon. It has an incredible ability to calm raging storms. It is said that Lugia appears when storms start. Oh, it feels really, really nice to have this Pokemon. Anyway, with that, now it's time to talk about what you all really want to hear. That's right, we are finally talking about... roaming Pokemon. Alright, it is time to talk about the most ruthlessly unfun game mechanic in all of Pokemon. Roaming legendaries. Okay, I kid, but like, let's be honest, it is really tedious, this entire process. Basically, the idea is, remember way back in Ecruteak City in the Burned Tower when we met the 3 legendary beasts in the basement of the tower? Well, 2 of those Pokemon are Raikou and Entei, and those Pokemon have been roaming around the Johto region ever since that point, and we have encountered Raikou a couple of times in the past. Now, there is a long process to encountering and capturing roaming Pokemon. Basically, what you're going to want to do is, since they roam all around the map, you have no idea where they are going to appear for the first time. So the best option I can suggest is to buy a lot of repels and just start running around the region. I really like the areas of Route 36 and Route 37 to check for these legendaries, mainly because both of those routes have 3 adjacent routes to them, and roaming legendaries will usually move to a route adjacent to their current position whenever you change position. Although it's worth noting, flying, teleporting, and restarting the game will entirely randomize their position. Now what you want to do is you want to have a Pokemon at the front of your party at level 40 or below. That is because the roaming legendary Pokemon are at exactly level 40. So what you are going to want to do is have that Pokemon in your lead and use the repel so that whenever you get a wild encounter in the grass, you are guaranteed to find a roaming Pokemon. Now, as you can see by the very sped up footage on screen, this process can take a very long time. However, eventually, you will be blessed with an encounter. Now, once you have had this first encounter, you are probably going to wind up in a situation where this roaming Pokemon either flees from you or forces you to flee from it. This isn't the end of the world, though, because now that you have seen it once, it can now be tracked in the Pokédex. Now, you do have to go into your Pokédex every single time you change area, just to see where the roaming legendary has moved to. As you can see, it will dash all over the place, so keeping a good eye on your Pokédex is a very good way to ensure that you can encounter it again in the future. Now, the roaming Pokemon may get sort of stuck in like a corner of the region and stay in one spot for a long period of time, going back and forth between routes. And if this happens, a good way to reshuffle their position is to just fly somewhere else in the region. Now, of course, there are 2 roaming Pokemon in the region where this occurs, and you're going to want to track down each one individually, and I'm going to offer some advice on how to capture these Pokemon. Now, the first Pokemon I decided to go after as a part of this procedure was Raikou. Now, some of you might recall that we received a Master Ball from Professor Elm upon obtaining the 8th Gym Badge in the Johto region. I very strongly recommend using the Master Ball on one of these 2 roaming legendary Pokemon. Now, unfortunately, you do only get 1 per game, so you basically have to use your Master Ball on one and then you're sort of quote-unquote on your own for the other. Now, the Master Ball is really cool in Generation 2 because it actually has a kind of special animation to it. It's got like a different throwing arc and a bunch of stars to it. It's really cool, and as you might imagine, given the name, it will capture any Pokemon without fail immediately, which is really nice for a roaming legendary who will otherwise flee from you. Anyway, gonna add that data to the Pokédex. Raikou, the Thunder Pokemon. This rough Pokemon stores energy inside its body, then sweeps across the land, shooting off electricity. Very cool. Anyway, with that, On to the other one. Now, I've got a bit of a story with Entei right here. Some of you might recall I have a Pokemon with False Swipe and a Pokemon with Mean Look on my team. Now, unfortunately, one thing I forgot about when I taught one of my Pokemon Mean Look is that both of these roaming Pokemon also know Roar, which means even if they are trapped, you are not, and they can send you away from battle whenever they so please. In addition to that, my False Swiper, along with every other Pokemon I have, including Suicune, is slower than this thing, which means I had pretty much no chance of inflicting damage on this Pokemon. So what did I have to do? I had to bite the bullet and do it the hard way. I had to pray to the RNG gods that a full health throw of an Ultra Ball would catch this thing. I cannot tell you how many hours of footage I have of me trying to catch this Pokemon. I did the math on how much Repel I used. I used enough Repel for over 40,000 in-game steps. Yeah, it's insane. I'm almost flat broke in this game because of this Pokemon. It is alarming. Now, as for how many Ultra Balls it took for me to capture this Pokemon, are you ready for it? I do not think you are ready for it. Do you want to know how many freaking Ultra Balls it took to catch this blasted Entei? Well, I'll tell you. It took 197 Ultra Balls. Whoever thought it was a good idea to give these Pokemon Roar, yeah, they should be, I don't know. The roaming legendaries in this game, they just, I miss the days of older Let's Plays where I had enough Master Balls to cover all the roaming Pokemon. Anyway, after finally catching Entei, we can read its Pokedex entry. Entei, the volcano Pokemon. This brawny Pokemon courses around the Earth, spouting flames hotter than a volcano's magma. And with that, we have both Raikou and Entei, so I will meet you guys in Cerulean City for the next part of our quest. Alright, now that we have put that, quite frankly, traumatic experience behind us, we want to come here to the Cerulean City Pokemon Center, because as you might recall, this guy is here. Hi, I'm back visiting my hometown. It's been quite a while. David, have you heard? There have been fresh rumors of a rainbow-colored Pokemon appearing at Tin Tower. I've just had my party healed, so now I'm headed to Ecruteak. I'll be seeing you, David. And, to the surprise of absolutely nobody, we gotta follow him. And here we are in Ecruteak City. The Tin Tower shook. A Pokemon must have returned to the top. This is the only guy in this room that has new dialogue. The others say the exact same thing that they used to. Now, it's kinda crazy in a way. I've never actually done this part of Pokemon Crystal before. I've done it in Gold, and in that game it's a little different. But here, it's definitely unique. Anyway, let's head on into the Tin Tower. Man, it actually hasn't been that long since we were last here. It was 21 episodes ago, I think? Ho-Oh appears to have descended upon this, the Tin Tower. With how many hours I've recorded here, you have to have some sort of flub in the language. I believe you are being tested. Free your mind from uncertainty, and advance. I love how I said that one perfectly, even though I feel like that dialogue was probably more difficult to say. Anyway, speak to this one. This is the most important thing here. This will protect you. Take it. And we get the Rainbow Wing. In Pokemon Silver and Soul Silver, you would receive this item in Pewter City from the guy who gave us the Silver Wing in Crystal. And in Gold and Heart Gold, you would actually receive this item upon defeating Team Rocket at the Radio Tower. Crystal is special, and you will only get this item if you have captured all three of Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. If you knock out any of them, I strongly recommend resetting your game because Pokemon Crystal does not feature respawning legendaries. That feature was not added until Platinum, so keep that in mind. And now go. And we have the opportunity to explore the Tin Tower. There are wild Pokemon in higher portions of the tower, so I recommend using as many repels as you can. I also recommend stocking up on more Pokeballs. And yes, this is being recorded immediately after the Lugia battle, and as you can see, I couldn't afford to get my Ultra Ball stock back up to 50. That's how strained I am for cash as a result of this episode. Anyway, head up here, and it will become very apparent very quickly that the Tin Tower is a very, very complicated building. Head right over here. We have a full heal, very nice. As you can see, there's these weird ramps, and the way you navigate the tower is simply hopping over them. And as I mentioned before, I've never actually done this in Crystal before, and the last time I did this in any game was a long time ago, so I sincerely apologize if I get lost in this area, because, like, just look at it. It's a place where you're gonna get lost. Let's be honest. Alright, let's see here. Looks like the next way we want to go is down, I think? Yes, and we have a PP up. Very, very good. And I believe if we head up this way, there is a hidden item right there. Very cool. Head back downstairs, and I think we want to go this way. Yeah, this area is very strange. I don't know what the inspiration for this kind of layout was, but it's definitely interesting. Head up here, have another hidden item, which I cannot pick up, so I think it is time we used some of our medicines over here. So I think we will dish out a couple of special ups onto Espeon. By special ups, I mean calcium. Use those, and we now have enough space for a Carbos. Very, very cool. Grab that, head back down the stairs, and let's see here. I believe next up we want to head over this way, and I think, yes, there is a max potion hidden right here. I believe those 3 hidden items are the only hidden items in this tower, so keep that in mind. Head right on up this way, and this will put us onto the 5th floor. And, let's see, where do we want to go from here? I've got a map pulled up here, but I'm not sure how useful it's going to be. Okay, want to head up this way, I think. And then down, over, down, over, down. Yes, and we have a rare candy, but my inventory is still full. The thing is, the PC is also full, so not sure how I'm supposed to deal with that. Gonna raise Heracross's attack right there, and we will get ourselves a rare candy. Definitely something we want to grab, and I believe that's everything on the 5th floor, and the next way we want to go is, oh, we're actually a little stuck, so we're gonna have to go back around this way, down the stairs, hop over this way, and oh, there's another item up there. Huh, okay. Forgot about that one. Good thing we came back down to check, because I would have completely looked over that otherwise. This area is definitely an interesting one. So let's see. We need to go down, over, down, down, and we can get this, an Ultra Ball, which will definitely be useful in the very, very, very near future. And then we have no other choice but to head over this way, and not through those stairs, and over here, and over this way, and that will take us back upstairs. Man, I'm just trying to make sense of this map, like make heads or tails of it. It's pretty crazy. We need to head over this way, all the way down, over, down, down, over, over, down, and this gets us to the 6th floor. Yes, I believe this is the 6th floor we were on. A relatively simple floor when compared to some of the other portions of this area. Got a max potion right there, which is the only item on this floor, so keep that in mind, and we have a repel to refresh. And with that out of the way, we can loop around this way, and I'm not sure what the deal is with this floor texture right here. It doesn't mean anything special. And then we can head over here and up the stairs, and here's where things start to get really interesting. We have these pink tiles on the floor. I'll give you 3 guesses as to what these are. Oh boy, I will give you 3 guesses as to what these are. These are, as if we hadn't had enough issues this episode, warp tiles. And these won't even only go between the same floor. They will actually go between different floors in this place. So I'm gonna kind of have to keep track of where on earth we're going with this map, and things just got a lot more interesting. Head over this way. We have a max elixir, which is very good. So we have that, and then we have no choice but to backtrack a little bit, head through this warp tile, and we can head over this way and grab a nugget. My inventory is still full. Oh well. I guess I just needed the kick in the pants to use all of these vitamins on all of our Pokemon. Let's see. Who could use a little speed? We'll give it to Crobat. Seems like a good choice there. Grab our nugget, which I am definitely going to sell for cash as soon as we get out of this area because I am broke in this game. And then we can head back over this way through this warp tile, and that seems to be a complete dead end. So head back over this way and over this way, and we are back on the 7th floor, I think it is. So the way we actually want to go is over here through this tile. This tile will take us, where will it take us? It will take us to the 9th floor? No, the 8th floor. We're on the 8th floor now. Go through here, and then we can grab this. This is on the 9th floor. Grab an HP up, which will actually stack with the one we already have in our inventory, which is really nice. And through this warp tile, right around here, to this warp tile, and here we are. I very strongly recommend saving at this point. Alright, now that we have done that, there's nothing else for it. Let's head up to the roof. And man, this is one of the most iconic locales in Pokemon Crystal. And this is actually the first time I have found myself standing in this spot in Pokemon Crystal. But that is a moot point, because right here, the big elephant in the room, or rather the big phoenix in the room, is this. This is Ho-Oh, the legendary Pokemon of the sky, who apparently used its special powers to revive the Pokemon that passed away in the Burn Tower into Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. Very, very cool indeed. This thing is tough. This thing is level 60, and it has the moves Fire Blast, Sunny Day, Swift, and you guessed it, Recover. Yeah, in this game, aside from Suicune, all of the legendary Pokemon are either roaming Pokemon with Roar, or very powerful Pokemon that know Recover. Are you serious? Like, all of the legendary Pokemon, save for Suicune in this game, are a nightmare to catch. It's insanity. I could not think of another Pokemon game outside of Generation 2 that has legendaries this frustrating to catch. It's insane. Like, I hope you guys are proud of me, because this episode was an undertaking, and once again, Serebii has lied to me. It doesn't have Swift. It has Gust. Looks like I'm making another post in his errors thread. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, I'm trying to get the freeze off on this thing. Now, luckily, since Lugia and Ho are level 60 and not level 70, they do not have their signature moves. In Lugia's case, that move is Aeroblast, and in Ho-Oh's case, that move is Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire is interesting, and not in a good way, because if Ho-Oh uses Sacred Fire, it can instantly defrost itself from being frozen. I'm pretty sure Fire Blast does not have this property, and I hope that is indeed the case, because otherwise we might have some serious problems here. Now, one other thing about these two legendary birds, Lugia and Ho-Oh, that is pretty interesting is that in Generation 2, as you can probably hear, they only have the regular wild Pokemon battle music. However, in the remake Heart Gold and Soul Silver, each one gets its own unique battle theme, and both of them are really, really cool. So if you guys actually have not heard those themes before, I very highly recommend looking them up, because they're cool. Like, there's no other way to state it. They're just really, really awesome songs. Alright, now can we please weaken this guy? Like, my word. Also, Fire Blast has a really long animation. But I mean, if we look at it, Fire Blast's animation really has not changed all that much in 20 years. Anyway, I'm gonna switch over to Feraligatr. I opened up with Electabuzz just because I forgot to put someone else in the front, and I think Feraligatr is definitely the better Pokemon to go after Ho-Oh with. Now, the nice thing about wild Pokemon in Generation 2 and onwards is they will actually use up power points when they use their moves. So basically, same with Lugia, you're going to want to starve this thing of its power points for Recover. Otherwise, you are going to have problems trying to catch it. And wow, Fire Blast does a lot of damage. That is insane. I'd really, really like to get the freeze off on this thing. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. Ah, well. Well, it seems decently weak at this point, so I guess we're pretty much set to start chucking balls at it. Oh, this could take a while. And with that, we have Ho-Oh. On my 5th attempt, I am going to explain to you how the first 4 attempts at catching this Pokemon went. First attempt, it ran out of PP and used Struggle, and KO'd itself. Second attempt, same thing happened. Third attempt, I accidentally scored a critical hit and knocked it out myself. Fourth attempt, I caught it, and then the recording corrupted. I don't even have the energy to be mad about this episode anymore. Let's just take our Ho-Oh and go. Ugh. Ho-Oh, the rainbow Pokemon. It will reveal itself before a pure-hearted trainer by shining its bright rainbow-colored wings. Considering this episode is probably the closest I've ever come to openly weeping over this YouTube channel, I'd say I'm pure-hearted enough for this thing's tastes. Oh boy. Anyway, Ho-Oh was actually our 20th Pokemon that we sent to our PC, and when that happens, Bill will call. Hey David, it's me, Bill. Thanks for using my storage system. That last Pokemon you sent filled your box up. You'll have to switch boxes if you want to catch more Pokemon. Bye now. That is really, really useful in this game. I'm pretty sure I explained it existed before, but it's really nice to have it demonstrated to us because that's just a really nice feature. Nothing's worse than getting to the top of a tower like this just to catch a really awesome Pokemon, and then having your box be full and being unable to catch it. Anyway, you are indeed capable of flying off of this tower, and with that, I would like to head off to the Ruins of Alph now that we have Ho-Oh. Alright, here we are at the Ruins of Alph, specifically the Northwestern Chamber. I've taken the liberty of selling the nugget we found in the Tin Tower just so we'd have enough inventory space to do this. Head on inside, and the door at the back of the chamber will open. You might recall the last time we were here, this wall did indeed say Ho-Oh on it. If you enter this chamber with Ho-Oh in the front of your party, the door will open. You will also notice Ho-Oh is holding an item. This item is very, very interesting. This is Sacred Ash. This is an item that you can use one time outside of battle to fully revive all fainted Pokemon in your party at once. Now, you only receive one in this game, and personally, I would not use this. I'd keep hold of it just because it is a fantastic trophy item. Let's just say that. Anyway, what are your rewards for opening up this final chamber? First thing is a revival herb. Very nice. Next is a charcoal, which, considering what you need to get in here, is pretty fitting. Our repel wears off, of course. Mystery Berry is the third item, and the final item is a gold berry. Very, very nice. And with that, that is absolutely everything that we can do at the Ruins of Alph, save for catching all the unknown, which I may or may not do. I honestly haven't decided yet. Anyway, coming over here, and we have an inscription. We humans must learn to walk in harmony with them. We depart for their sakes. And we do depart as well. With that, we are headed off back to the Kanto region. Finally. And here we are back in the Kanto region, and I think with that we are going to end things off here. So, this past episode we had quite the time of it, but we obtained all of the remaining legendary Pokemon in the world of Pokemon Crystal. And next time on Pokemon Crystal, we are going to be continuing our exploration of the Kanto region. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, and I forgot to mention this earlier, but Raikou's starting moveset is Leer, Thundershock, Roar, and Quick Attack, and Entei's starting moveset is Leer, Ember, Roar, and Fire Spin. Okay, now I'll see you guys next time.